What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another edition of Off the Bench. I'm back from my vacation, and I'm happy to be here. It's a great day to be a football fan on this lovely Tuesday. Partner, how are we?
Partner, it is good to have you back. I'm doing wonderful. I know that I missed you. I know the people missed you. It is good to see you.
Absolutely, absolutely, man. So jumping right in, we got a few things here, a little bit of news, if you will, um, and that is, a couple of small things, First off, we're just going to start out here. Green Bay Packers Tucker Kraft is expected to be back early in the season for the Packers. Um, General Manager Brian, I'm going to mess this up, Gutkunst said on SiriusXM NFL Radio, he described Kraft as a little bit ahead of schedule. That's great for Green Bay Packers fans, along with Micah Parsons, who tore his ACL, is expected to be back early in the season. And again, those are both great things for the Green Bay Packers. Um, I'm sure they're going to love to have both of those guys back. The sure hands of Tucker Kraft, and of course, the big name last season, Micah Parsons, who moved over from the Cowboys. Um, Moving down to the New York Giants here, the Giants have picked up defensive tackle DJ Reader. They have agreed to terms on a 2-year deal. That's via NFL Network and Ian Rappaport. So again, another one. Zach Pickens was claimed off waivers from the Chiefs, according to League Wire. And then the Philadelphia Eagles grabbed linebacker Isaiah King, who was an undrafted free agent, and they cut defensive back Tucker Large, who was another undrafted free agent. He was waived with an injury designation. Um, for the Pittsburgh Steelers, Daquan Hardy was placed on injury reserve. And a big one for today, uh, defensive end Dante Fowler signed a 1-year deal up to $5 million via Tom Pelissero and NFL Network, or who is an NFL Network insider. Um, let's see here. We got Anthony Richardson from the Colts is reporting to voluntary workouts amid trade requests. Apparently, him and Daniel Jones, he doesn't like the fact that somebody has a spot. But the Chiefs are uncertain if Patrick Mahomes, who suffered a knee injury, will participate in OTAs. Uh, Chase Claypool is trying out for the Packers this week, so keep an eye on that. The Giants signed veteran defensive lineman Shelby Harris because Darius Slayton is set to miss spring, I guess spring OTAs or whatever, um, spring workouts, tryouts, training, whatever it is, due to surgery. Two-time Pro Bowler safety Justin Simmons retires after 9 seasons. Eagles assistant GM Alec Hallaby is stepping away from assistant GM. Vikings officially pick up wide receiver Jordan Addison's fifth-year option, and the Saints are cutting somebody. It doesn't say, but they are cutting someone. That's a wide receiver. The Saints are signing linebacker Anthony Jennings, and offensive tackle Donovan Smith announces his retirement. Thank you for your time here in the NFL. Enjoy your retirement. Ravens exercising a fifth-year option for Zay Flowers. Uh, Colts Daniel Jones is throwing a football nearly 6 months after his Achilles surgery, and the Matthew Stafford news. The Rams are making progress on his extension, and a big one, OBJ is trying out for the Giants. So, or working out with the Giants. So they actually I seen a little article about him. They liked what they seen during flag football, liked what they seen there. So they actually invited him out to try out with them. Maybe we see OBJ back in action at his old stomping grounds, with the fame where he is most famously known for his one-handed catch. If I can talk today, partner, and these are two big things here that we talked about Um, Legarius Sneed's, who had some criminal charges against him, they have been dropped. All criminal charges against him have been dropped, along with another big name, Stefan Diggs, who had an assault trial. His results of his trial, he was found not guilty. And partner, that was 45 minutes ago. Um, and big things, big things. We both talked about how both have expressed a want to play with Washington, and both who we would love to have in Washington. I believe that Stefon Diggs is still a free agent. I don't believe anyone has picked him up yet, so um, I'm excited for this. Uh, Big chance to have him on the team, and that will be our wide receiver too. And yeah, that's how I feel about that part. What do you think?
So the prospect of having a guy like Stephon Diggs, um, and congratulations on him for being proven non-guilty by a jury of his peers. That's huge. But the prospect of having a guy like Stephon Diggs, who even with the Patriots last year and what a lot of people would call a down year, proved that he is still very capable at the wide receiver position in this league. And moreover, for Legarius Sneed to have his charges dropped against him, do not forget that just a few years ago, partner, Legarius Sneed was the hottest thing on the defensive side of the football for the entire NFL. So the prospect of having either of those guys suit up in the burgundy and gold is huge. I know that there was in passing mention of Washington for both landing spots. I don't know if that was by the players or by their camps, but either one would be a huge get. But there is an expressed interest, at least among the fan base, in having both guys because both are proven producers inside of today's NFL.
Sorry, partner. I actually received a Discord call. I'm I do apologize for the noise, ladies and gentlemen. I have since let said person know that I'm busy. But yeah, absolutely. I would love to see both of those guys suit up in the burgundy and gold. Stefon Diggs, heck of a receiver. He's unfortunately had to go to a few different teams here recently. So again, amid his jury finding him not guilty, I think that again would love to have him on the team. And as I stated a few minutes ago, he would be the perfect wide receiver too, and he would pair up great with Terry, I think. So, but partner, I know with him dealing with that, he's got to be tired. I'm tired. You're tired. But you know what he needs after a long trial? Uh, he needs an Aspire Energy, and they are good for you. They have zero sugar, 0 calories, 80 milligrams of natural caffeine. I mean, they're great. Good flavors. They have tons of flavors. 13, I think, is what they have now. I know they just released a blackberry flavor, so huge, huge thing on that. They have vitamins B and C. They are just again packed full of stuff. Uh, they are keto friendly. They are um, diabetic friendly. Again, no crash. 80 milligrams of caffeine. Half of the competitors that we can't say the names of. Um, so yeah, absolutely. If you guys want some of this, I would go to aspiredrinks.com slash forward slash discount forward slash OTB25. The best tasting stuff out there, I think. You definitely get more of a natural flavor with them opposed to some of the other competitors. I think they have a little bit more of a chemically flavor myself, but not with this. I mean, it's green tea and guarana derived. So again, really good stuff. I think it tastes more natural than those other flavors that are those other uh, companies who I think use a lot of chemicals in theirs, a lot of artificial flavoring, and you just don't get that with this. So again, that is aspiredrinks.com forward slash discount forward slash OTB25, and get the best discount they offer. Um, we kind of had talked to them a little bit. They gave us 20% off for you guys. So again, that's aspiredrinks.com / discount / OTB25 and get yours.
Beautiful. Thank you so much to Aspire Energy for making this podcast possible. We love those guys over there.
Absolutely. But partner, we're gonna move on to a new series on this channel, uh, a new limited time series, and that is gonna be uh, the draft breakdown per division. If you guys were a fan of our division breakdowns with the free agents, well, it's back, and it's going to be with the draft recap. Um, and partner, if you don't mind, I'm going to start off on arguably the worst team in the NFL uh, per Burgundy and Gold standards, and that is the Dallas Cowboys. Um,
Absolutely. Take the floor, partner.
I'm going to start with this team, and here's why. They took a guy that I really, really like. Um, Now, NFL has rated this draft class for the Dallas Cowboys a B plus, and we'll get into that. We'll get into what we think it should be, or if we agree or not. But to start off the NFL draft, they got safety Caleb Downs from Ohio State, which if you guys have been watching this channel, you know that I'm a big fan of him. And also in round one, pick number 23. They got edge rusher Malachi Lawrence from UCF, and he is someone that I think Jerry Jones is trying to put in a position to fill the hole of Micah Parsons there. I'm excited to see how well he does. I know they grabbed the best edge available at the time, so again, great first two picks in round one. In round three, pick number 92, they got edge rusher Jay Barham from Michigan. In round four, pick 112, offensive tackle Drew Shelton from Penn State. Need to shore up that line. Got to keep Dak Prescott safe. In round four, yeah, cornerback. I apologize. Devin Moore from Florida at pick 137 and round four. Defensive lineman uh, LT Overton. Sorry, I had to make sure that was his name. Make sure it wasn't saying left tackle. Anyway, LT Overton from Alabama, and from in round seven, their final pick, number 218, they grabbed wide receiver Anthony Smith out of East Carolina. Now, they have individual grades here per day. So day one they have a B plus, which is your first round. Day two is round two and three, and then day three is going to be round 4 through 7. So for day one, B plus, day two, solid B, and day three, another B plus. Um, so I think that this is a great. I think they did very well, especially with getting um, Caleb Downs. Now I have expressed my opinion with him and Sonny Styles in a backfield in a defensive minded game um, where Sonny Styles and Caleb Downs and Arvil Reese are all in the same defense. Sonny Styles takes the takes command over that team. He was the defensive captain there, so that says a lot. But I thought Caleb Downs was a better pick, and unfortunately he fell to the Dallas Cowboys. I don't know why anyone else couldn't grab him except the Dallas Cowboys, but here we are. Shout out to my older brother who is a Dallas Cowboys fan. I still love you, but you know. What do you think, partner?
The Cowboys had an incredible draft. Not only did they have an incredible draft, they got better, which does not. If you ask me, our entire content today shows just how strong the NFC East is going to be this coming season. The Cowboys are not precluded from that. They had a fantastic draft. I like Malachi Lawrence. I heard me say it a billion and two times. to the draft. Caleb Downs was my darling. I wanted him at pick 7. It made the most sense, but alas, he falls to the Cowboys, and they drastically bolster their defense, desperately in search of placement for both Trayvon Diggs and the aforementioned Micah Parsons. I
Yeah,
think they are doing good things. Um, the underrated pick for me in this particular draft is Drew Shelton. I like Drew Shelton a lot. I think that he is a fantastic swing tackle. If you look at his work in at Penn State, he played a good swing tackle. He's very good in the run, very good in the pass. Part of the reason Washington's rookie running back Katron Allen is the leading rusher in Penn State history, the all-time leading rusher in Penn State history. Part of that was Shelton out on the outside. So the Cowboys bolstered their roster, but not just through draft pick. They signed a litany of undrafted free agents as well.
right.
Um, Really quickly, we'll run through those. DJ Rogers, tight end out of TCU, 5-year guy at TCU. I like that a lot. Jordan Hudson, I think underrated, out of SMU, as well as Camden Brown out of Georgia Southern. Michael Trigg, tight end from Baylor. Kelvin Gilliam, a defensive tackle from Virginia Tech. Dominic Richardson, running back out of Tulsa. The next one, Sidney Fuger, offensive tackle out of Baylor. Shiaz Pete, offensive tackle, Kentucky. DJ Withers, defensive tackle from Kansas. Tommy Dunn Jr., defensive tackle, also out of Kansas. And Langston Patterson, linebacker from Vanderbilt.
Yeah, the litany is an understatement. Plenty of opportunity for those guys to be in the NFL, um, and just plenty of opportunity for those guys. So I'm hoping that those guys do well and they make it onto the the roster. Again, Micah Parsons left. Osa Digizua left and went to the 49ers as well. So got a few holes in that defense, and they definitely did their best to fill them. Again, hate it because I'm a Washington fan, but as an NFL fan, I hope that is what they were looking for, and I hope it all turns out well for them as an NFL fan, as a football fan in general. So, yeah. Anyhow, partner, do you want to take us through the next team?
Yeah, for sure. Matter of fact, we'll jump right on down the list to the next worst in Burgundy and Gold standards. And this is a team that I see a lot of animosity with as far as on football Twitter or X, however you guys want to refer to it. The New York Football Giants. This is a class of football players that most teams would be envious of. And that starts with their 5th overall pick, Arvil Reese, off of that Ohio State defense. That included Sonny Styles and Caleb Downs. They get Arvil Reese with the 5th overall pick. They also, at the 10th overall pick, go down south to Miami and pick up right tackle Francis Mauigoa. Uh, Once again, I apologize for mispronouncing his name. You guys have been letting me have it for 2 consecutive weeks now. I apologize, y'all. Shit, I'm sorry. Um, they also go to Tennessee and get Colton Hood in the second round. To me, this is a steal. Colton Hood is underrated in a defensive backfield that included Jermod McCoy 2 years ago. Colton Hood was still standing his own, and then after Jermod McCoy gets down, Colton Hood flourished. Was crazy. Malachi Fields, their next pick out of Notre Dame. That's absolutely huge. At pick number 74, I like Malachi Fields. They go get Bobby Jamison Travis, from Auburn on that defensive line. Another huge pick. I like that pick a lot. Uh, at pick 192 in the sixth round, they got J.C. Davis to shore up even more of that offensive line. They put a lot of emphasis on the offensive line this season in the draft. And with the very next pick, with their last pick, they take linebacker Jack Kelly out of BYU. To me, the Giants, as well to go along with the Cowboys, did fantastic. Now, I don't have a draft grade in front of me. I'm just looking at the Giants release themselves for their draft picks, but seven very, very good draft picks. And a bunch of these guys may have the opportunity to start come day one. I would not be surprised if four or even five of these guys are starting come week one of the season.
Yeah, absolutely. And the draft grade that the NFL has for this is a B plus. And the grades for per day, day one is an A, solid A. The day two is a B plus. Day three is a C plus. Which I don't know. I feel like that's a little underrated. I would definitely give it at least a B for day three. Um, that's three really good guys in that sixth round, and I think that again, J.C. Davis is a little um, underrated there. I believe he's going to be great on either side of that center. So you know, I think that's a little bit unfair of a rating there, and I'm saying that as a burgundy and gold wearer here. But yeah, so great draft class. They did trade Dexter Lawrence to get that 10th overall pick, so was again they got Francis Malinoa out of it, so can't complain any. You trade a defensive lineman for an offensive lineman, so arguably one of the best offensive linemen, if not the best offensive lineman in this draft. So um, yeah, I like this. I think they did great. So that's my two pair on it.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Give me just a second, y'all. I lost my UDFA signings for the Giants. Let's see here. Where Here we are. And speaking of litany, once again, good Lord have mercy, the Giants 13 undrafted rookie free agents. Paul Adam, offensive tackle out of Missouri. Jake Carlock, a defensive back out of Lou Post. C.J. Conrad, tight end out of Kentucky. Eric Dungy, quarterback out of Syracuse. Jeremiah Harris, defensive end out of Eastern Michigan. Nate Harvey, another defensive end out of East Carolina. John Hilleman, running back for Rutgers. Mark McLaurin, defensive back from Missouri State. James O'Hagan, center out of Buffalo. Zaya Tuafea, linebacker out of Texas San Antonio. Jacob Thieneman, defensive back from Purdue. Alex Wesley, Northern Colorado, wide receiver. And Reggie White, not to be confused, the great Reggie White, all-time sacks leader in the NFL, a wide receiver out of Monmouth. They went out and got a total of 20 rookies to add to this New York Giants roster with NFL opportunities. My partner, how in the world do they have the space?
I Look, your guess is as good as mine. That's a lot of people. 20 more fellas in that room. I think uh, I think it's John, right? Jim John. Harbaugh is really trying to find his guy, one way or another, and he's gonna find it one way or another. I mean, look, 20 guys, at least one of them is bound to be somebody. They're all carrying that chip on their shoulder, And that's just with every one of these undrafted free agents. They all got that chip on their shoulder. They're all pressing to prove that, hey, I am worth your time. Um, and we're gonna see who is going to be worth their time for sure. Um, but partner, we have uh, arguably via several votes in several different places, uh, on several different outlets here, the fan voted worst uh, uh, fan base in the NFL, the Philadelphia Eagles. And I mean, look, if you live in Philly, you know, win, lose, or draw, you're storming the streets. I mean, look, I've had some friends be up there when that happens, and I've heard that it is quite a thing, quite a sight to behold. Um, I've seen where the mayor has came out and said, "Hey, please don't knock down the light pole," which is a wild thing to say. But we're not here for that, partner. Partner, we're here for NFL draft picks, and we're going to keep it PG. No, we're not. Anyhow, uh, the Philadelphia Eagles in round one drafted wide receiver Makai Lemon, who, partner, you talked a lot about this guy. Big fan, big fan of Makai Lemon. Uh, big fan of Jordan Tyson. Uh, so, anyhow, they grab him at number 20 from USC. Round two at number 54, they grab tight end Eli Stowers, or Stowers, however you want to say it, from Vanderbilt. Round three, number 68, offensive tackle Markel Bell, which is it's seemingly uh, a trend in the draft here. A lot of people are grabbing an offensive tackle or a offensive lineman in some sort, trying to fill that hole, and that's just in the first 3 rounds. A lot of offensive tackles were going, so again, trying to protect that quarterback, their moneymaker. So in round five, at pick number 178, they're grabbing quarterback Cole Payton from North Dakota State. Jalen Hurts backup maybe. Um, in round six, at pick number 207, they got offensive guard Micah Morris from Georgia. And then these are three round seven picks. They got at number 244, safety Cole Wisnowski at from Texas Tech. And then at number 251, they got defensive tackle Uar Bernard. That is from the IPP program. I don't know what that means. Um,
International player prospects.
oh, is this that dude
He's
that's like 6'6"? Uh, is it 300 pounds or something like
he's
that?
6'8",
Oh,
312.
my bad. He was 2 inches
With a
taller.
with a
Holy
six
cow!
percent body fat. This guy's a monster. He once he figures out how to play football the in a professional setting, he is going to dominate centers of defense.
Absolutely, dude. That dude is huge. And I've actually seen a lot about the guy. I couldn't remember his name, um, but yeah, now that you mention it, it instantly clicks. Huge dude. If you do not know who this guy is, please go look him up. He is massive. Um, and then number 252, well, directly after that, they got Edge Keyshawn James Newby from the University of Mexico. All right, so the draft grade for this is a B plus. Day one a B, day two a B plus, and day three an A minus. Um, which I think that day three is very fair with getting Uar Bernard. Now I might be a little, what's the word, bias, but I think that is a great pick. I do like the guy. Again, just a guy from across the ocean, and he is just huge. Um, and I'm like you said, once he figures out how to play, he is going to be just a force to be reckoned with. Um, Partner, I assume that you might have those ODFAs. If
I
you do
do,
not,
I do.
I'd okay.
I do. I've got to, but look, partner, I've been having all the fun with the UDFA's. If you want to have some fun with some undrafted free
I
agents, brother,
can
you just
I
gotta
can
let
do
me
a
know.
few. I can do a few.
All right.
Um,
Cool, cool. Real
so
quick before we jump into that, with UR Bernard, if you're wondering why we say once he figures out, if you haven't heard anything on him, if you're wondering why we say once he figures out how to play American football, he has never played a snap of organized football in his life.
yeah.
He is a street football guy. Entered the IPP, has blown the socks off of the Eagles front office. His draft call, you should listen to his draft call with Eagles GM Howie
Oh
Roseman.
yeah.
It's rather entertaining, but
It is hilarious.
it makes you want him to succeed so much. Um,
Oh,
but it's awesome. Partner, I won't hold up your time. Go ahead with
actually,
some
I do want to spoil a little, just a
UDFA's.
little bit of that call. He, so the guy calls him, and basically tells him, "Hey, we're drafting you here." And the guy says, Uar says, "I gotta walk there." Like, nah, dude.
You're like, nah, we'll fly you. We'll get you a flight.
Yeah, it's really it's entertaining and kind of heartwarming because he's just one of those guys that's just trying to better his life, um, and super happy for him. But to get into these UDFA's, um, there's not as many as the last team or the last two teams, but there is a few. Um, UDFA's for the Philadelphia Eagles starts off with a tight end, Daquan Wright. Trickles down to an offensive lineman, Jaden Roberts, defensive end, Joshua Weru, linebacker Dante Lawson, uh, defensive back Kapina Gushkin, uh, another defensive back Maximus Pulley, and defensive back Tucker Large, with a long snapper Rocco Underwood. Now, not as many again, but again, once again, there's going to be at least one of these guys will end up on a practice squad, or possibly um, a low to mid string guy. So hopefully, hopefully one of those guys get it. Again, opportunities to be made here. Just scrolling through the UDFA's for the entire NFL, like there is quite a bit. And unfortunately, partner, I don't think that the Giants' massive list is the most. I think that there are a couple more guys in here, a couple more teams who have a significant amount, which we'll get to those later.
Yeah, for sure. Real quick of note, if you guys want to know just what opportunities undrafted free agents can have, here's a few that I will list off, and I will let you guys decide just how important it is to be drafted versus just keeping your nose to the grindstone and earning your opportunity. Um, let's start with Hall of Famer and Pro Bowl and Super Bowl winning quarterback Kurt Warner was an undrafted free agent, as well as Hall of Fame defensive tackle John Randall, tight end Antonio Gates for all of my early 2000 San Diego Chargers fans, kicker Adam Vinatieri, who won, I believe, 5 Super Bowls altogether, kicking for the New England Patriots and the Indianapolis Colts, as well as linebacker James Harrison for the Pittsburgh Steelers, who was an absolute force. All of these guys, undrafted free agents.
Absolutely, and now that is quite the slate. Now, like I told you guys before, um, it is important to. I lost my train of thought there. Anyway, like I told you guys before, there is a lot of opportunity to be had here, uh, and that is the important thing, because as long as they keep their nose down, and just keep grinding it out, no matter where you are in, like, how do you put it? If you're picked number one overall versus not being picked at all, if the number one overall guy stops working, like, oh, I'm the number one overall pick, I'm good enough. Like if Jaden Daniels, for example, if he went number two, um, and if he were to just give up, then he would be a nobody versus, say, another Kurt Warner esque type guy who becomes a somebody. It just opportunity will show up, and as long as, and no matter what it is that you do in your life, if opportunity shows up, put your nose down. If it skips you, put your nose down even further. So, sorry, a little tangent there. Kind of had to pick myself back up after I lost my train of thought. But, um, partner, do you have anything else for us?
Just a quick tidbit so that I may bring home the prospect of what being picked overall versus what being undrafted may mean, and whether or not there's a divide there. The number one overall pick the year that Kurt Warner went undrafted in the NFL draft, 1994, was Dan Wilkins, defensive tackle for the Cincinnati Bengals. Now, he spent most of his career in Washington, spent 4 seasons with the Bengals, five with Washington, three with Detroit, and one with Miami. Dan Wilkinson had a very solid career. He had a very solid career at the defensive tackle position, 300 solo tackles, 54 and a half sacks, seven forced fumbles, five interceptions. Not a Hall of Fame guy. Kurt Warner went on to win a Super Bowl, lead the Arizona Cardinals to another, win NFL MVP, get voted to Pro Bowls, and end up ultimately getting his gold jacket after being undrafted out of Northern Iowa. So that's what the opportunity that these guys have. And all they got to do is keep their noses to the grindstone and show teams why they are worth that particular effort. Just a little tidbit for you guys before we get out of here, because I know that there's this common misconception amongst UDFAs that they're not good enough. And you see a lot of undrafted free agents come out of colleges that like HBCUs, your Grambling States and Browns and things like that. You see a lot of those guys not get drafted just because of the, we'll call it the quality of schedule and the prestige of the university on a main stage scale. And you'll see him come in through the UDFA program, get signed, and absolutely kill it and have a fantastic career. So just because someone does not get drafted does not mean that they're not talented.
Absolutely. And just to further your point on basically being where you're drafted, undrafted, first round, second round, seventh round, whatever it have may be. And this story has been beat into everyone's heads, and I'm going to say it anyway. Um, there are roughly, if you do a basic math, there are 224 picks in the NFL draft. Now it varies each year due to some compensatory
Story picks. Yeah.
picks. So roughly around 257 picks each year. Now Tom Brady went pick 199, and again that chip on his shoulder. I mean, he wasn't what any team was looking for. He didn't run the fastest, wasn't the tallest, um, didn't move the best, didn't have the best throwing, but and he was picked to be a backup. And ultimately, he won 7 Super Bowls and was a multi-time AFC conference champion. And I mean, I think he in his 20 odd some year career, he had he'd been to what, 12, 13, 14 Super Bowls. Let me get that number for you.
He
Um,
went to 10 Super Bowls. He lost three, all three to the NFC East, two to the
Yeah.
Giants, one to the Eagles.
So he's been to 10 Super Bowls, and out of his what 23 years, been to 10. It is such a little chance to make it to the Super Bowl, and yet Tom Brady did it not only with one team. He left it after winning 6 Super Bowls in that one team, and said, "I can do this without this team." And he challenged himself to go do it again. Um,
Oh
and
yeah.
it just goes
Uh,
to show you that you can do anything you put your mind to as long as you put your nose down. And Tom Brady, he's even said his superpower was how much film he watched. Like, and he'll say this. He said this playing the Chiefs in the Super about playing the Chiefs in the Super Bowl. I knew the defense better than they knew themselves. He watched so much film that it was his job, um, and he wanted to be the best at it, and he is. I mean, you can argue all you want, but statistics and 7 Super Bowls says otherwise. He is the greatest quarterback to ever pick up a football in the NFL. And you can argue with me. You can write in mean comments. I'm standing on that. Um, so yeah.
I'll
Anyhow,
uh, I'll reinforce that for you, partner. And here's my reinforcement for it. You pick your favorite quarterback of all time. I don't care before the merger, after the merger, 1950, 1980, it does not matter. Pick your quarterback from your time. I don't care how many championships they won. If it was NFL championships, if it was AFL championships, throw your autograms at me all you'd like. I don't care. In an age where football was at its most competitive and where we, we lived to see the true golden age of quarterback play, the Philip Rivers, the Peyton Mannings, the Eli Mannings, the Tom Brady's, the Matt Ryans, the Ben Roethlisbergers, like
the Drew Brees. I mean, the
the
list
Drew
goes on.
Breeses, like
Like,
you can pick whoever you want to pick, and each of these guys are great in their own right, but none of them have more Super Bowl championships than every franchise that makes up the NFL, except for one, and that is Tom Brady. So you argue however you would like to argue. Also, I want you to take this with you since we're on the subject of undrafted free agents. He put a litany of undrafted free agents on the map as well, including one, Wes Welker, who went on to win multiple championships, both with the Patriots and one with the Broncos. So, until you get put on game like that, there is no better GOAT. And a lot of people will say that Jerry Rice is the true GOAT of the NFL, and he is a very, very close number two because nobody plays wide receiver at a high level like that for as long of a time as he did. Jerry Rice don't have 7 rings as a player.
absolutely, yeah, 100%. Um, the partner, I'm not tired because I had my Aspire energy, but it is time. It is time to kick rocks. And on the note of Tom Brady is the greatest quarterback of all time, arguably the greatest football player of all time, send us out of here.
Fantastic, absolutely. Shout out to the GOAT Tom. Respect from all around the league. Love him or hate him, he is who he is. But we are also who we are, and we are who we are because you guys continue to tune in. So thank you, you guys. Thank you to whoever's watching the live stream. Thank you to all of our live stream viewers. Thank you to all of our viewers on YouTube. Thank you to all of our listeners on all of our podcasts, and thank you to all of our followers across all of our socials. Um, you guys make this fun. And thank you to you, partner. Last but not least, never least, top of the list. Thank you for sitting here talking football with me. I'm glad that you're back. Hope you had a fantastic vacation.
Absolutely.
You don't get another one for a year. I hate to tell you, but no, I'm messing with you, brother. I'm messing with you. But it is good to have you back, and thank you. nobody else I'd rather be talking football with. You have any parting words for us before we get out of here?
It's just guys, remember follow socials. We are live streaming on Kick. We do upload to YouTube. We upload to every podcasting platform available. You'll get your Aspire energy drink at aspiredrinks.com/discount /OTB25 and get your own. Bunch of flavors. Don't quote me on that 13, but it is a lot. They have quite a few. Um, what else? Again, all the socials: Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Kick, uh, uh,
TikTok,
Twitter.
Twitter, you name
Yeah,
it.
just yeah, we're there. So, but yeah, thank you guys so much. Again, thank you, partner. Thank you to the fans for making this possible. Thank you to the sponsor, and that's about all I got, man. Thank you to Washington for being Washington and allowing me to be a football fan, I guess. So
They don't. You can thank them all you want. They don't get a choice. They're stuck with
exactly.
me. They've been stuck with me for the past 28 years. I'm not changing now.
That's because the
But
first few years he was a Dallas Cowboys fan. There's
that's
picture
we're not
proof.
we're not holding that against me. I was not old enough to make my own decisions. I don't care what you guys see. I don't care what you see on social media. I
uh,
bleed burgundy and gold. Don't let don't
uh.
don't let don't let our good friend Corey over there run his K Cole. It was brainwashing at best, and we see how it turned out. 5-time world champs, baby.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you guys so much for watching, listening, whatever you're doing it from, and we'll catch you guys on Saturday. Um, can't wait for it, partner. Can't wait to see you again on Saturday. So, without further ado, we'll see you guys on the next one.